Hello, friends. I'm Brian, and this is Gizmo Board Games. And we've reached the end of a year, and last year on the 31st, I believe it was, I did my Golden Gizmos, where I gave out awards to those games that I felt were worthy based on my plays that year and on long-term commitment. And I'm going to go ahead and come back to that again, giving out 5 more Golden Gizmos to 5, I think, worthy games. Hopefully you agree. Maybe you don't. You can comment below either way. The categories, I'll go over them real quick. I changed a couple of them from last year. So last year I had a Golden Gizmo for co-op or solo. And then, so I'm going to keep that category the same. That'll be the first one I give out. And then last year I had for family or party game. And this year I just changed that to lightweight game. Last year then I had strategy Golden Gizmo. I'm changing that to medium or heavyweight game. So it's kind of the same idea, just tweaked what it's called. And then the final two are a Golden Gizmo for the one new to me game that I felt was really worth it, whether it was from the year or a long-term game that deserved it because I played it in the year and it was new to me. And then finally, the Brian's Choice Golden Gizmo, which is the one gizmo I can just give out to any game I feel is worthy of kind of like a lifetime achievement award, but that's my personal opinion award. The winners last year were Pandemic for the co-op or solo game. The lightweight family party, whatever you want to call it, I gave to the Isle of the Cats last year. The medium heavyweight, or what I called the strategy game from last year, I gave to Wingspan. The new to me game from last year is one of my favorites still of all time, and I gave that to Arc Nova. And then the Brian's Choice Award went to Concordia, a game that I also really love. The eligibility for this list, in case you didn't tune in last year or just don't remember or need a refresher, whatever the case is, or if you're new here. So to be eligible for a Golden Gizmo, first of all, it must be rated a 4 or higher by me. That means basically every game is eligible unless a game I really didn't like. It's probably not going to win anyway. But just a baseline at something, I didn't look at anything that might have been rated below a 4. More importantly, it must have been played multiple times in the past year. So 2023, I couldn't have played a game once and then try to give it a Golden Gizmo. I had to get it to the table multiple times, ideally with multiple people, which leads into the next eligibility criteria. It must have been enjoyed by more than just me in my group, other than obviously a solo game. If I'm awarding a solo game, it's going to be just me who played it. And again, with the Brian's Choice, not necessarily have to have been played with others, although most of the time, I'm probably not going to award anything that others didn't enjoy, so that's going to stick. But generally, these aren't just my choices. These are people I've played with. I've also spoken highly of the game. Obviously, nobody's voting in with me or anything like that. But I'm thinking back to, did others enjoy playing this game too? And how were the thoughts about it in general before I decide yes or no for whether I'm going to go ahead and award a Golden Gizmo for a certain game. And then finally, it must never have won a Golden Gizmo. I don't want to repeat Golden Gizmos. What's the point in that? So let's get into it. I got 5 games to award a Golden Gizmo to right now, starting with my favorite co-op or solo game from 2023. Again, I had to play this multiple times. And if it's a co-op, ideally I've played it with multiple people, but since solo's involved in this as well, and in this case, solo is the winner. It's one I almost gave last year, but I had to award Pandemic. So this year, with the new season coming out, I'm giving it to Final Girl. I just really enjoy Final Girl, the game. It's a great solo game. Season 2 came out last year. We got Season 3 on the way soon. I've got that. I've got the big box. I don't know if you can see it all behind me. I've got everything for Final Girl. I've played this a bunch. It's still my favorite solo game, and I still continue to play it, still enjoy it. I know the theme isn't for everyone, and that's okay. Although you can kind of ignore the theme. There's not a lot of the theme in the game. Yeah, you're going to pull a card and the villain's going to chase your Final Girl around. You're trying to rescue people. But in the end, it's just meeples on a board and you're moving them around based on dice and card selection. So if you can kind of ignore the macabre feeling of what the theme is, you can play this game. Meeples on a map and bad guy chasing you around. Final Girl, I really enjoy it. I feel like it was worthy of a Golden Gizmo last year. but not worthy enough. But this year, another year down, another year played, I still really enjoy Final Girl. And that's why it's getting my favorite co-op or solo Golden Gizmo. All right, the next Golden Gizmo is going to go to the best lightweight game of the year. Again, this game, and it was hard between this one and the one I'm going to call medium and heavyweight strategy. This is a game I got to the table with family and friends, and everybody seemed to have a good time with it. It's not a really complex game. It's a fun game, and it's a Uwe Rosenberg game that is New York Zoo. I really enjoy playing New York Zoo. It's pretty easy. You're just trying to fill up your zoo, all the spots with polyomino tiles and animals. And it's not a hard game. You're just going to move around the board 1 to 3, 1 to 4 spots and either get a new tile or get some more animals. That's all there is to it. There's a bunch of strategy in it, but nothing's overly complex. Again, I played this with my kids. She loved it. All my friends love it. And it's a good, fun, easy, doesn't even take that long. 30 to 60 minutes is what it says on the box, and 30 to 60 minutes is probably what it is in real life. And there's no scoring, so that's why some of the people I played with love it. You don't have to do math, because the scoring is you win when you fill the board. That's it. There's no scoring. So I really enjoyed New York Zoo, so did everybody else I played it with, and that's why it's going to take the Golden Gizmo for lightweight game for 2023. All right, moving on up into medium weight, heavyweight. And this one, some might even consider it a bit of a lightweight, but I think there's enough to it to move it up kind of into the medium weight category. And this is a game that's been on my top 50. I really enjoy playing it, but also it's one of those games that I don't enjoy playing a lot. So if you heard me talk about it, it's really weird. It's got a lot of randomness that I don't like, but it's still very fun. With a bit of strategy involved in how you're drafting things and how you're using your things, and it's space-based. This is my group favorite game probably from last year. We played this a ton. They just really enjoy it. It's another one that plays quick, relatively easy, but there's enough complexity in it that I think it feels medium weight. I don't think I would bring this out to somebody super new to gaming, but you still could because it's not overly complex. Basically, you're rolling dice, and everybody's going to take the results of the dice. But if it's your turn, you're going to play off your base. Let me see if I can flip to the backside and show it off a little bit. Probably not great, but yeah, you're going to play on your base board if you're the one rolling, and if you're not the one whose active turn it is, then you're going to be playing off of everything you've sent to space from your base, because the cards are dual-sided, and as you move things to space, when you buy new items to put in your base, they go to space, and you can get more and more lucrative based on where you put them. So space-based, a fun, I think, medium weight game. Everybody just really enjoyed. Another one of my most played games this year, and yeah, it's very good. Everybody enjoys it. Space in my top 50, probably still whenever I get around to making that list this year. I imagine it's still going to be there, maybe even higher up than last year, because I played it so much more this year because everybody really enjoyed it, and I think it's worthy of a Golden Gizmo. Space. All right. Golden Gizmo for new to me game from 2023. Again, this doesn't have to be a 2023 game, just something that is new to me in 2023 that I feel is worthy of the Golden Gizmo. And this one was a tough one. Next week, I think I should have out my top 20 new to me games, and this one's obviously going to be on it. But is it going to be number one? I don't know. But I feel it's still such a good game. It's got so much talk from everyone. Everybody I played it with enjoyed it. People are still hyping over it. It's got a new expansion coming out soon, and it is heat, pedal to the metal. Hopefully I'm in screen here pretty good. But everybody just enjoys this little racing card drafter. It's got so many little modules that make it a little more complex, or you don't have to play with any of the modules, and it still is a fun little racing game that you're just playing cards out of your hand and running around the track, trying not to spin out on the corners for going too fast. We've just really enjoyed playing this one a lot too. Again, might be my most played game of the year. I didn't look into those stats, but I know between this and Space Base, we've played these two games a lot in my group. It's just a lot of fun. I'm glad I got my hands on it. I know everybody still is clamoring about this. It seems like even a year later from when I first heard about it. And I think it's got some longevity just because it's that good of a game. It's got expansions coming out next year or this year, because we're already in 2024 now. And I think this one's still going to be around for a while, and I think it's definitely worthy of a Golden Gizmo. And that's for new to me game from 2023. This is the one game from 2023, I think, that was new to me that deserves the Gizmo. And finally, the Brian's Choice for Golden Gizmo. And this one's another new to me game from 2023, but it's not as new as Heat Pedal to the Metal is, unless you count the new expansion, which, or not new expansion, well, I guess new expansion too. I haven't even played the new expansion, but the new edition, the special edition, and that's what got me to get it, and I got it delivered, and I really enjoy the Castles of Burgundy. I am really a Stefan Feld fanboy at this point. Everything I've played by Feld has been spectacular, so just that fact alone got me to purchase. Plus, this was priced really well for everything you got in the box. I feel like, considering the prices these days, I feel like I didn't get ripped off by this Kickstarter, or was it GameFound? I think it was GameFound. I think the value for the big box I got, I didn't want to bring down the big box. So this is the acrylic tiles. Well, it would be the acrylic tiles collection, but actually the acrylic tiles are in my big box. This is the cardboard tiles are now in this little box. But Castles of Burgundy, just a classic Stefan Feld game that's been updated recently with a special edition that is fantastic. Some new expansion and all the old expansions thrown in as well. And from the first time I played this, I was hooked. I've played it a few times solo, a few times on BGA, and I think once live in person with other people. And it's such a good game. I think it's well worthy of a Golden Gizmo and is probably going to be easily well up in my top 50 when I get around to making it. Spoiler alert for that video set of videos, however I do it this year, if I do it this year. But Castles of Burgundy, just fantastic Stefan Feld game and worthy of the Golden Gizmo. Having this one on my Golden Gizmos list was easy. It was just a matter of, did I put it on new to me, or did I go ahead and give it the Brian's Choice? And I felt like this was more deserving of that kind of lifetime achievement than any of the other ones. So that's why Castles of Burgundy gets the Brian's Choice for Golden Gizmo. And that's it. That's the 5 new Golden Gizmos. So now I have 10 total Gold Star, however you want to call it, Golden Gizmo awarded games. And next year we should add 5 more from games I really enjoyed and played a lot in 2024. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked my selections. Either way, comment below. Let me know. I really appreciate any feedback you give me. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I do really appreciate you being here and coming back for future videos. Now that I'm back and trying to get set up, hopefully I can have a video out every week. I can't quite guarantee I'm going to have something weekly, but I can guarantee I'm going to be pushing out content a bit more frequently than I have the past 4 months when I was stuck in a move. So it's good to be back. It's good to be doing these videos, and it's good to have you following along. I appreciate you. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.